The Hajj and Jihad are perpetual obligations that are carried out under legitimate Muslim rulers, irrespective of their personal probity, whether they're good or bad, until the end of time. Nothing can nullify or rescind them. Now, what is jihad? And that's where the question comes. He mentions Hajj and Jihad together because Hajj is the jihad of women. Because Aisha asked the Prophet, do women have jihad? He said yes, and there's no fighting in it. It's called Hajj. So the Hajj and Jihad are together, and also the Imam has to establish the Hajj, make sure that the pilgrims are protected, that they're given water, food if they need it, things like that. So Jihad, ta'riful Jihad, the definition of Jihad, right, is badl al-juhd, right, fi difa' an ad-din. It's expending your energies to defend the religion, right? So Jihad it means many things. And Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah, said that kullu qurbatin jihad. Every act of devotion that gets you towards Allah is a type of jihad, right? And mujahidu man jahada hawahu. The Prophet ﷺ said, the jihad, the mujahid is the one who struggles against his own passions, his own lower desires. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبَلَنَا وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Those who do jihad for our sake. This is in Surah Al-Ankabut. This verse was revealed before the verses permitting qital. كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الْقِتَالِ. Fighting has been decreed for you, prescribed for you. Those verses came before, right? And then وَجَاهِدْهُمْ بِهِ بِالْقُرْآنِ. So there's jihad al-lisan, there's the jihad of the tongue. These are all forms of jihad. So Shaykh Abdullah said in the early period there was a khilaf about jihad al-talab, right? A offensive jihad and a defensive jihad. Some of the ulama said jihad is only defensive. Why? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تَعْتَدُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُعْتَدِينَ. Don't be aggressors. Allah doesn't love the aggressors. His love is not fickle like some people's. Right? You have fickle love, right? Her love was fickle. Like one day she loves me not. That's fickle love, right? Allah's love does not, لا يتغير حبه لا يتغير. فإذا قال لا يحب المعتدين إلى أن تقوم الساعة. He doesn't love aggression. Allah does not love aggression. And therefore they said, if you aggress against somebody, now, some of the ulama argued that it really is defensive even when it's offensive, because what you're doing is preemptive. The Arabs used to say, الروم إذا لا تغزى تغزو. If the Byzantines, if you don't first attack them, eventually they're going to attack you. Preemptive war is a very dangerous doctrine. This was the American doctrine of the neocons, this idea of preemptive war. Hitler believed in preemptive war. Eisenhower condemned it, saying that that once you open that door, it's the door for just oppression and expansion. But the Muslims differed. But they understood, nonetheless, it was always to promote good, to create freer societies where there was freedom of religion, including allowing people to be disbelievers and to protect them from the aggression of others. So, like this Pax Americana, this idea that some neoconservative have of creating a global, peaceful civilization by having these, these powers that stop evildoers. The Muslims had very similar idea, right? They had this idea that we should make the world safe for religion, all religion. Because religious persecution is the worst type of persecution in the Quran. To be persecuted for what you believe. There should be freedom of thought. This was the idea. Even the atheists could live in the Muslim society, and there were many atheists that lived to ripe old ages in the Islamic civilization. So the Muslims were open to these things. But what Shaykh Abdullah said, this debate is over in the modern world. To say that there's offensive jihad, that you can aggressively attack another country, is an act of insanity. And he said, نَحْكُمُ عَلَيْهِمْ بِالْجُنُونِ مَنْ قَالَ الْآنِ بِجِهَادَ الطَّلَبِ هَذَا جُنُونَ. Because al-asliha mudammira, these weapons of mass destruction now that we have, it makes it an act of madness to do that. And so he's totally opposed to it in that way.